What is the present value of an annual bond? And the question would be how much would you pay for a 10% annual coupon bond that matures in 4 years if the annual interest rate for the equivalent bonds is 10%? And the inputs here we have the easiest way to solve a bond problem is usually to do the timeline. So we know that 10% annual coupon, that means that every year the bond pays 10% times the face value, which is usually 1,000. So the interest portion or the payment portion of the bond will be $100, and we have our N is 4 years. So we have 4 years here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We have four equal interest payments of 100 and one big lump sum at the end. And the question is, what's the present value of this? So two ways of doing this. One is to find the present value of each cash flow and then add them all the present values. Another would be to use Excel functions, or you can think of a bond as being comprised of two parts. The first one is the payment. So the $100 as the interest would be like a payment or an annuity due. I'm sorry, an ordinary annuity. And the last one would be the present value of a lump sum. So if we want to treat these as four individual lump sums and then one big one at the end, so we have the coupon payments and the par value, we're going to try to find the present value of each by using the formula approach, which says that the present value equals the future divided by 1 plus the interest rate to the number of. So typing the inputs into Excel would be the present value of each lump sum, then we copy and paste and we found the present value of all the interest portion. Then we add this, and finally we get the present value of the big last payment. Once we do it, there's an error here, which is this one. We have to change this to 4 periods. And then we finally add the present value of the coupon portion, the present value of the lump sum or the last big payment, and we find that the price of this bond should be $1,000. Another approach is to use directly the formula for Excel. We have here just one comment on the yield. There are many names for it: required, going interest rate, market rate, quote rate, or yield. You're gonna see it. That's very common the way it's called. And we know that the payment is $100 because we have four equal payments of $100. How do we find it? We find it by multiplying 10%, which is the coupon rate, times the face value of this bond, which is $1,000. And then our face value is 1,000. And finally, we want to find what's the present value. So we do the rate, the payment, I'm sorry, the number of periods, the the payment, and the future value, and find again that this bond is selling for $1,000. We say this is a par bond. Okay, so this bond sells at par when the present value is the same as the future value.